The concept of the one-hit wonder is something that has always fascinated me. Between legitimately enjoying all these strange novelty songs that made their mark on the history books, the fact that I just enjoy trivia, so it's fun being the only person in the room that knows that the band behind Absolutely Story of a Girl is called 9 Days, and so on and so on. I have a whole video about how that original concept has been dying and one-hit wonders aren't really a thing anymore, and peppered throughout my channel you will find evidence of me talking about Who Let the Dogs Out, the Macarena, etc., but I have yet to talk about this. The one album wonder. Instead of creating one individual track that gets played for another 40 years while the rest of your stuff is in the dirt, what about an entire project that received some combination of critical and/or commercial success, but then that was kind of it? After going through my musical Rolodex, I've narrowed it down to 7 albums that are pretty famous or great or whatever, that find themselves very lonely when compared to the rest of that musician's discography. I wanted a variety of different stories to tell, so the exact reasoning of why something is a one-album wonder will vary widely, and you'll see what I mean soon. Before we begin, 2 honorable mentions. Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols by the Sex Pistols, and Grace by Jeff Buckley are absolute classics, but them being one-album wonders goes without saying. Sid Vicious and Buckley's untimely deaths prevented any further releases, so like, duh, they could be on this list, but that narrative isn't as intriguing to me. If you want an example of somebody with only one album, let's talk about a person who came in, made a Grammy Album of the Year award winner, and then disappeared. They're still alive and will pop up every now and then, but Miss Lauryn Hill, the patron saint of folky, hip-hop, neo-soul, has only one single project: the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This exceptional 1998 album not only showcased her vocal prowess, but also her remarkable songwriting skills. Her lyrics delved into themes of love, identity, and spirituality with unparalleled depth. Songs like To Zion and Everything is Everything revealed Hill's willingness to confront complex emotions head on. The album's seamless fusion of R&B, hip-hop, and soul, coupled with live instrumentation, created an intimate yet expansive auditory realm. But then you have to mention timeless hits like Doo-Wop, That Thing, and her captivating cover of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. This album has everything you could ever want, and it's all we would really get from her. Hill's enigmatic decision to step away from the music industry after her debut album only added to her image in this strange way, leaving fans longing for more of her unapologetic honesty and creativity. While there are many complex reasons for her departure, including creative burnout, a disdain for the industry, family priorities, and further venturing into spiritual and philosophical places, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is a unique, special case of a one-album wonder. Boston's 1976 debut album is a pillar of classic rock, defined by the warm craftsmanship of frontman and multi-instrumentalist Tom Scholz. The album boasts unforgettable hits like More Than a Feeling, where Scholz's lyrics tap into a universal sense of nostalgia, complemented by soaring guitar solos and rich vocal harmonies. Peace of Mind showcases Scholz's guitar virtuosity, delivering thought-provoking lyrics alongside sentimental melodies. What truly sets this album apart is its abundance of top-notch power pop tracks. Smokin' and Hitch a Ride infuse infectious pop sensibilities into their rock sound with catchy hooks and electrifying energy. Comparing Boston's debut to their subsequent releases, it's evident why it remains unrivaled. While their later albums had merits, they couldn't replicate the cohesion and precision of their first offering. In essence, Boston's debut album is a testament to how a band's first work can sometimes be their magnum opus. The Stone Roses' eponymous debut album, unleashed upon the world in 1989, was essentially a journey through rock and roll history. It wasn't just an album, it was a sonic time machine that seamlessly blended the past, present, and future of music. With intricate melodies and John Squire's artistic guitar prowess, it painted a vivid tapestry that stood as a testament to the band's enormous potential. During the late 80s and early 90s in Britain, there was an electric buzz surrounding the Stone Roses. People believed that they were on the brink of becoming the next big thing in music, something era-defining like the Beatles, Pink Floyd, or Queen. Their harmonious blend of alternative rock, dance, and pop was a breath of fresh air in a music scene ripe for reinvention. Ian Brown's distinctive vocals, paired with the band's infectious charisma, made fans and critics alike anticipate a trajectory that would see them conquering the world's stages. However, behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. Strange legal issues and internal conflicts began to unravel the band's progress. These disputes led to a prolonged hiatus, causing fans to watch in dismay as the once promising stars dimmed in the shadows of what could have been. The cruel irony was that the band's only other album, Second Coming, which eventually emerged from the depths of their struggles, was decent, but it couldn't hold a candle to the initial magic of their debut. The spark was still there, kind of, but it just wasn't the same. Perhaps in another multiverse, they have an extensive catalog with tens of millions of records sold, but in this one, it's a bit of a mess. In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel holds a singular place in the hearts of internet music nerds everywhere, making it a cornerstone of indie music lore. Its magnetism can be attributed to a number of factors that make it a unicorn in a world full of horses. First and foremost, Jeff Mangum's lyrics are a thing of poetic, breathtaking genius. Influenced by Anne Frank's Diary, his moving verses imbued the album with an unprecedented depth of avant-garde storytelling. Tracks like Two-Headed Boy and Holland 1945 resonate with the rawest of emotion, forging a connection with listeners that blew my mind when I first heard it. Not to mention the lo-fi production on this thing, featuring fuzzed out guitars and vintage instruments, which created a distinct sonic landscape. This might be my #1 album of all time for the concept of how in the world did they get it to sound so good? However, Jeff Mangum's disappearance from the music scene after this iconic masterpiece remains a subject of fascination. A nervous breakdown led him to withdraw from the industry, leaving fans yearning for more of his extraordinary talent, which would manifest in different ways over the years, with none of them matching the quality and impact of this indie classic. It's worth noting that if you want more in the Aeroplane Over the Sea, Neutral Milk Hotel's preceding album, On Avery Island, can almost be seen as a warm-up act for the grand performance that came afterward. While the latter is undoubtedly what cemented his place in music history, the prior is a decent record that more people should check out. After a decade of playing third fiddle to Lennon and McCartney, George Harrison's artistic freedom was ready to shine bright with 1970s epic All Things Must Pass. With songs like My Sweet Lord and Beware of Darkness, this is one of the definitive singer-songwriter albums ever. With themes of love, impermanence, and a kind of mellow introspection, this thing came out at a perfect time. The early 70s were such a specific era of cultural and societal change, and this was one of the go-to albums for anyone looking to get a little spiritual and tap into some collective consciousness. It's an inviting, brilliant soundtrack to meaning and connection as concepts in life. While producer Phil Spector is an absolute lunatic whose background goes against George's gentle soul, this is one of the best examples of the #wall of sound. The lush, ethereal production helps bring us into the world of the album. And yet, George does have a very full discography, so why am I calling this thing a one-album wonder? Listen, I love the guy, but if somebody is listening to George Harrison, it's either the Beatles or All Things Must Pass. As good as some of his other solo projects are, nothing comes close in terms of popularity or quality. This thing is as synonymous with crunchy, earthy indie kids as a Pulp Fiction poster is in a freshman college dorm room. This is something that I've been thinking about making a video on for months now, but the whole story fits in here perfectly. Fergie could have been one of the pop girlies, a name as big as Katy Perry, maybe even the likes of Beyonce and Taylor Swift. This woman's 2006 debut album, The Dutchess, was a defining moment in contemporary pop music. Hits like Fergalicious, Clumsy, London Bridge, Glamorous, and Big Girls Don't Cry, all on the same album, is insane. These tracks showcased what she was capable of, blending genres together effortlessly. Her seductive vocals and unique sense of style made her a pop sensation. Beyond her solo career, Fergie's contributions to the Black Eyed Peas added to her legacy, but it also split her focus. This duality in her career trajectory possibly hindered her ascent to superstardom. It's a shame that she as a solo act is generally remembered for that goofy national anthem performance when she could have been on the path to becoming a legend beyond her group. She was the real deal for that one album, but she couldn't capitalize on it. This is one that might forever be one of the most peculiar rises and falls in music history. The Heist by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis was a cultural moment. Released in 2012, the album's accessibility was a standout feature, with tracks like Thrift Shop and Can't Hold Us connecting with a broad audience. Beyond the super mega hits, the project's socially conscious themes and catchy hooks struck a chord with listeners. The guy is a meme, sure, but Macklemore's introspective and often thought-provoking lyrics, as seen in tracks like Wings and Same Love, added serious depth to the album, making it and him something special in pop culture. It was a quirky yet meaningful album that got people talking. This guy can seriously rap. He's touching on important issues that nobody else is brave enough to go over in their music, and especially in the rap game. But all the praise came crashing down when The Heist won Best Rap Album at the Grammys over Jay-Z's Magna Carta Holy Grail, which, sure, Drake's Nothing Was the Same, which, absolutely not, no way, Kanye West's Yeezus, good lord, and finally, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. It is strange to say out loud, but Macklemore's bright future was squashed the moment he won a major Grammy. The backlash of him beating 3 of the best rap albums of the entire 21st century, a couple of which are some of the best and most innovative, important albums ever made, in my opinion, that was the end. Insert the goofy apology text message post, insert the goofy white privilege songs, and while he had 1 or 2 more big tracks, his biggest success was also his downfall. Thank you for watching that video. There are tons more one-album wonders, so comment below if I missed out on any, and thanks. See you soon. If you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media at RenshawHS. You can support me on Twitch or my Patreon, buy my merch that's coming soon and is actually in the description right now. And thanks. I'll see you soon.